Hey everybody, it's Peter here. I'm on my own without Robert. He's back in Dublin and I'm in Wicklow for now. I do have hopes to move back to Dublin at some stage, but for now I'm here. I'm not drinking for January and I just wanted to record something kind of short just to keep my mind busy when I'm not going out and trying to save and basically try and be an adult at some stage. Better late than never. I'll be 26 in a month, or less than a month, and I really need to get my shit together, as everyone says. Yeah, so this is just gonna kind of be me talking into the phone and kind of rambling for a bit about kind of certain topics that some people have brought to my attention and stuff that I may not have kind of spoken about or talked about before. And I need to kill some time here and just talk about something interesting in the process. And I have to make you aware that my phone isn't as good as the phone that I used to have, so I don't know if the sound quality is going to be as good as it was before. I hope, like, I did a test on this and everything came up fine and sound quality wasn't too bad, but I hope you don't have to turn up your volumes to absolute maximum. There's going to be no jump scares here that'll burst the eardrums out of you. Basically, I was kind of asking around today. I'm very unprofessionally smoking a cigarette here as well. So, if you hear me kind of like exhaling, I'm not dying. I'm not having a stroke. Although I probably will if I keep smoking these cigarettes. But yeah, we're all gonna die anyway. Fuck it. So if you hear me exhaling, it's just that I'm exhaling cigarette smoke. Okay. I asked a couple of people today, is there anything that you want me to talk about? Is there anything that I can talk about? Anything that's kind of been happening in the news and shit that I didn't put up on my Facebook or my Instagram that I haven't really mentioned. And there was one or two people who wanted me to mention or talk about even the metoo campaign and the sexual harassment campaign. Basically just this kind of online war against sexual harassment, not even just in Hollywood, but out in the wider world as well. And yeah, I mean, this problem can kind of be split off into like first world, which is the world that we're living in, like richer countries, and then third world, definitely poorer countries, or even developing countries, the second world. Basically, what we're all familiar with in the first world is more subtle, and I know oftentimes it can be a kind of overt sexual harassment, but it's definitely more subtle sexual harassment here in the first world than it is in the rape capital of the world, which I think is the Republic of Congo. As far as I remember, it's the Republic of Congo. That's the rape capital of the world. And if it's not that, it's Mexico. I don't know whether it's Mexico City or somewhere in Mexico. I can't remember the exact place in Mexico, but if I'm not mistaken, I think it's the Republic of Congo. There in the Republic of Congo and Mexico, certain parts of Mexico, the less well-off parts, overt, explicit, aggressive rape is definitely prevalent. And I don't know what we can do about that in a first world country like Ireland. I mean, do we have freedom fighters over in the Republic of Congo? Is it something that's just accepted that happens there? Like, there's been a lot of stories in India about gang rape in certain parts of India where women are mobbed by different guys, all looking to rape this girl. So it might be 5 or 6 guys trying to rape one girl. And I know that there's been a fair few cases in the news of gang rape in India. Now, back at home here in Ireland, we don't have a prevalence of rape. No matter what anyone tells you, there is not people raping every second of the day. There are thousands and thousands of rapes which happen in the Republic of Congo, and this is not having sex with a girl when she's unconscious. This is, as I said, overt, explicit, and aggressive, where the aim of the game is power. Because as we kind of know, rape is not really about sex. It's more about dominance, control, authority, power fantasies. It's kind of more into the end of that spectrum rather than just explicit sex. So back in Ireland here, in first world countries, like, let's say, the America, Ireland, the UK, a lot of parts of Europe, a lot of the first world places, rape is something that happens, but definitely it's not at the prevalence, or it's not as explicit as the rape capitals of the world, obviously. Here, it's more subtle. It's more along the lines of catcalling women. It could be having sex with a girl when she's passed out. Even though I don't believe that spiking is as much of an issue as people try to make it out to be. I think that people have and can get spiked and taken advantage of. Now, here in Ireland, sexual harassment is along the lines of, as I said, catcalling. Could be somebody spiking a drink or giving drugs with a terrible kind of chemical composition, which kind of, it basically sort of makes the other person kind of incapacitated and kind of unable to fight back. Now, the metoo campaign, I kind of feel on two ends of the... I'm kind of split between thinking that this is all great and everything, like feminism, but maybe we need it in places where there is a rape culture, like the Republic of Congo, like some parts of India, like some parts of Mexico, where there is a definite rape culture, and rape overtly and explicitly is happening all the time, every day. You don't hear about stories in Ireland, even in our capitals, where the populations are most focused, like Dublin, Galway, Cork, Belfast. You don't hear about girls getting raped 20, 30, 40 times a day. We don't have the population, and we don't live in a rape culture. Everybody knows that rape is wrong. Even the rapist knows that rape is wrong. They just don't care. They don't care that it's wrong. So, it's I feel that the Me Too is kind of targeting more subtle, not quite as explicit, but perhaps sexual harassment. as I said, I hate to be going around in circles, but this is all, this is not professional. It's all kind of off the cuff, just me speaking. So I'm so sorry if I'm kind of going around in circles, but I'll try to clear up my thoughts, because I'm having a lot of them right now. So basically, I don't catcall, and I never really catcalled. I don't get the concept. If you want to speak to someone, there isn't really anything stopping you from going up and saying hello to somebody, to try and engage them in conversation. Now, with my own personal circumstance, due to like a few different issues, like kind of medication that I'm on, which is kind of antidepressants, and also a beta blocker, which lowers my heart rate and kind of takes anxiety out of the picture. Well, panic attacks anyway. Due to those, I haven't really had much of a sex drive for the past year. Sex and dating is not the forefront of my mind anymore. Which is great, and it's liberating, because you don't kind of run your whole life by, okay, who can I fuck now? Which girl is looking at me? Which girl do I want? Because my life before, for a long time, was a lot about like girls and trying to fuck different girls and try and basically like be a slut, like a male slut, like bring up my numbers as high as I could. And I'm nearly 26, and it's not going that way for me anymore now. And that used to bother me. It doesn't really bother me so much anymore. That I have no want to date. I have no real want to have sex with somebody that I don't like. So I've very much taken a step back from dating, from girls, from sex. It's no longer even in the top 3-4 things that are most important to me. So I've kind of gathered this new perspective, that maybe a lot of women have gathered like years ago when they were very young. Maybe these things are kind of innately taught to women, because I do think in some sense that women are born socially smarter than a lot of guys, more socially intuitive, just a better social brain, a better brain for socializing. Far more intuitive than a lot of guys. So there doesn't tend to be as many like, quote unquote creepy girls as there are kind of creepy guys. Or guys that are too forward, too forthcoming, like any of these kind of like colloquial terms, like, you know, weirdo, creep, freak, whatever. Anything like that. There isn't as many prevalence with that with girls. Like the reality is, women are not going around sexually harassing a lot of guys. You've even just got to look at, like, let's just say the average girl and the average guy on Instagram or on Facebook. Girls I know from exes in the past, kind of looking at their messages and what kind of messages they get from guys, because that's all really interesting to me. The girls are inundated with messages, anywhere ranging from like the common sort of hey with a smiley face or a winky face to I don't know, suck my cock, anything like that. Just really really forward. And I'm kind of sitting back at this stage now wondering, Jesus Christ, does this shit work? Does this ever work? You go up to a random girl, or you message a random girl saying like, oh, suck my balls, suck my balls, or suck my dick, or wanna fuck? And these girls are like horrified. Be honest, when you think about it, I wouldn't like a girl. No, it's not that I wouldn't like it. I wouldn't trust a girl who came up to me and was like, wanna fuck? Even though in my mind, that might sound great, but I wouldn't trust a girl who comes up to me and says, "Wanna fuck?" I'd be questioning her motives and what does she want with me? Like, why me? And like, these are all the fucking things that girls are thinking about. The way I've kind of become more like sort of sensitive, not everything, because I still think that feminism, a lot of it is just cancer, just pure cancer. But to be a little bit more like sensitive to the issues of kind of the average lay woman, not like a hardcore kind of feminist woman. If you just reverse the position, reverse the situation, I'm sure that guys wouldn't like being catcalled by women all the time, being groped by women all the time, especially when you're in a bad mood. Like, I'm big into my personal space, and I hate it when somebody invades my personal space and I don't know them, and that could be them kind of coming up to me quite close to talk, that could be them trying to hug me. It's unnerving, and it's kind of it's creepy because it's unambiguous. There's no context to it. It's very random, and it's that creepiness that girls get a lot of. And in that way, I used to think that girls were very lucky because they were getting all these messages on social media and they were receiving a lot of kind of offers for dates. But when I really think about it, I don't think I would want that. I think I would want one particularly nice girl, one like sweet girl to go on a date with that I actually got on with, rather than 40 girls messaging me saying, "Hey," or "Wanna fuck." I don't think I would really like that. I think it would get so fucking boring that it would drive me nuts, and I would just be blocking people constantly. So I don't really go to nightclubs anymore. They're kind of a pain in the ass, and so I've gotten very used to my own company, and I've gotten very used to like silence and quietness. That I just, when I go into a nightclub now, I figure it's very obnoxious. But I've spoken about this so many times. I've seen so many things, different things in nightclubs where girls kind of want to be left alone, to, I don't know, to fucking whatever, dance with their friends, talk to girls that they may not have seen in a long time. And these guys, I mean, they're just trying to try their luck, aren't they? But the problem for me is where it becomes like too persistent. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with saying "hey" to a girl, but you have to be a little bit socially aware of her body language and her tone of voice and her facial expression. Like, is she welcoming this conversation, or does she want to just be left alone to kind of talk to her friends? And both kind of, she's within her rights to do both. And I'd hate to be hassled for a kiss or for a hug or whatever fucking desperate attempt is made by certain guys. I'd hate to be hassled like that. So I can definitely see where women are coming from there. The only problem is, I just wish that the Me Too campaign focused and targeted more areas of the world that desperately need it, where women are subjugated and tortured. I think that that's where feminism is needed. I don't know why there's no kind of, maybe there is, I don't fucking know, but I don't know why there's no kind of civil rights activists or feminists in India or the Republic of Congo or Mexico City. Maybe somebody can correct me. But yeah, I've been fucking whittering on here for, what is it, 20 minutes. My mouth is dry as fuck. So look, I'm gonna wrap it up. I don't know whether this kind of comes across as just the ramblings of a madman, or whether it actually I am making some coherent points. I don't know. Somebody would have to be watching this conversation, or not a conversation. Somebody would have to be watching me speak to kind of know, am I making kind of consistent, clear points, or am I doing what I tend to do, which is just verbal masturbation, just talking and talking. Anyway, fuck it. Yeah, 21 minutes. I'm gonna sign off. I'm gonna tap out. Yeah. Good night, everybody.